Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Minecraft on the JSano fan server with me, Mr. Muckluck. If I shift, I will get out of the boat. I usually shift when I say that, but... Oh... Okay. In today's episode, it's going to be a caving episode. A little bit of a caving and a little bit of a rambling, talky episode because I thought I would talk about a little trip I just recently went on. Does my sound okay? Yeah, sure. Yeah, a little trip I went on. Kind of like a little mini holiday. It was only a weekend break, but it was good nonetheless. In fact, I'm just following a pattern. I've noticed that lots of people on this server at the moment have released videos talking about their holiday. First, it was Mary, who went to Las Vegas. Then it was Ace, who went to Maine, I think it was. And now it's me, who went to Manchester. So, I've picked a cave. I've got all my supplies. I don't really need these boats anymore. I'll leave these here. There you go. Enjoy. Enjoy that, squids. Let's put those on the bar. Let's put... Why did I bring an axe for me? I don't know. Something like that. I don't know. Whatever. And we'll get going. So yeah, I'm just going to be talking about the trip, doing a little bit of spelunking. And I also thought I would include a few pictures. I took a few pictures on the trip. I'm not really a picture-y guy when it comes to holidays or even just events. I don't take many photos, and I do regret that because it can be annoying. Like, oh god, they're taking more photos, and that we all know someone that doesn't stop taking pictures. They're just there snapping away, and sure, it can be annoying. But at the end of the day, that's a great way of making memories because I'm a forgetful person. It's sad, but it's true that I will forget a lot about kind of things I've done and kind of things I went to go see. But at least when you have a picture, you go, oh yeah, I remember doing that. So I've made an effort to try and take more photos. I think I still don't take enough, but I'm going to try. And so on this trip I took a few, not many, but a few. I'll put them on screen if they're kind of related to what I'm talking about. Just a few things that kind of, I don't know, like just scenery, really. There's nothing. They're not like nice photos because it's just my crappy phone camera. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get on with the actual trip. So, I went to Manchester. So, if you don't know much about the geography of United Kingdom of England, I don't. I'm terrible at geography, but I live in the south, closer to London, kind of, the south. And my friend who recently graduated got a graduate job in Manchester. He started, when did he start? Maybe early, oh my god. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, right, good. He started early August, 1st of August I think. And so it's been about a month and I thought I'd go visit him. Because it's not his first time living alone, but it's his first time living quite far away on his own. So I thought he could use some company for a weekend. Plus it was bank holiday weekend, so why not? Got an extra day to spend up there. So I left on the Friday. Took my Virgin train from London Euston station. I'm really surprised it only takes 2 hours to get to Manchester from London. That's really, really fast. Oh, look at the mobs. Holy crap. But yeah, it only took 2 hours to get from there, from London to Manchester Piccadilly. It's odd because Manchester shares some of the same names. So Manchester has their own Piccadilly and their own Victoria as well, which did confuse me a little bit. But yeah, I think Piccadilly is their main big station. So I got there I left 2 o'clock, got in at 4 o'clock because it was a Friday, so my friend was still at work. Yeah, got in about 4, half 4. And on that Friday, we didn't really do much because I was tired from travelling. I'd done about 4 hours of travelling that day. And it's just, you think, how can you get tired just sitting down? But it is. For some reason it is. Plus I was carrying some luggage as well. So we didn't do any activities. We didn't go out in the evening. He kind of showed me his flat that he got. And we just kind of relaxed, played some video games. I brought my PS2 with me, and oh, you are Yeah, brought my PS2 with me. Played some hit and run. We tried to speed run it, and it was all going so well. Like we did Homer's level, we did Bart's level, we did Lisa's level in about hour and a half, 2 hours. And Marge as well. Then we got to Apu's, and Apu's levels really started getting trickier. That's what I've noticed. You can blitz the first 4 levels, but when it gets to Apu, not so fast. So yeah, we played some video games for the Friday night. We also took a tram, but I'll get onto the trams in a bit. So on the Saturday, this was how the weekend was going to go. Saturday was Manchester Day, and Sunday was Liverpool Day, and then Monday was going home day, which is the day I'm recording this. So on the Saturday was the Manchester Day. We got up fairly early because we wanted to make most of the day, and it just so happened to be, and this was, I don't know. I think this is quite good. I think in the end it was a good thing. It turns out that this weekend was actually a very busy weekend in Manchester. Not only was there a football game, because Manchester has, I think they have 3 football teams, but the 2 kind of big ones are Manchester City and Manchester United. Or maybe it's Liverpool I'm thinking of. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, they have to. One of them, I think it was City, was playing a football match. As you know, lots of people go to see the football match. But also this weekend was the Gay Pride Parade. Very big event. Parades through the city centre. And obviously that means that lots of people flock towards Manchester, and roads are kind of sectioned off. And oh god, I need to. Where am I going? Yeah. So now that was an issue. Not in the sense of, oh my god, there are lots of gays everywhere. Bring on the gays, I say. I don't care about the gay people. I'm not homophobic, but it was an issue in that it was very. We had to kind of work out ways to get places because we didn't want to kind of get in the way of all these crowds that were now lining up on the streets. So we had to kind of work around them, which was a bit annoying. But I think it was good because it was a good atmosphere. It was very much a celebratory atmosphere in the city centre, which was good. It was good to be there at that time. I think it was good timing overall. So yeah, we used we went to a few museums on the Saturday. Where's my bit of paper? I wrote down some stuff so I didn't forget anything. On the Saturday, we went. Well, my friend lives in a place called Salford or Salford. See, I would naturally call it Salford, but then obviously we have Sal on the server, and so it sounds weird to say Salford Sal. You just say Salford Sal, but I think I'd say Salford. But I'm going to stick with Salford. Salford. Ketchup. Yeah, my friend lives in Salford, and right near the quays, near the docks. The old docks. Old Manchester docks. And therefore, one of the first things we went to was the Imperial War Museum North. It's right next to Media City. What's it called? Media Centre? Media something. It's where like BBC and ITV and I think the university is there as well. All kind of like the creative industries. They've got buildings there. And so we went to the Imperial War Museum, which is just across the other side of the canal. It's great. Okay, so there's the big Imperial War Museum in London. That's the one I've been to a couple times now on school trips and just in going out days out there. And I love history. One of my favourite subjects at school. I did an A-level on it. I really enjoy history, so I'm all up for seeing more museums. And I really do like the London one. But I gotta say, I think this Imperial War Museum North is even better. It was such a great museum. The design of it was great. It was this really cool looking modern building. And on the inside, things are dying. On the inside, they have these kind of big. It's all sort of sectioned off with big pillars, but they're not like round pillars. They're just all these weird square-shaped pillars. And then on the sides of them, they have these projectors. So as you walk through, it's kind of all these sections, all these big square pillars with all these films playing, all these things projected on them as you're walking around. And then every hour, I think it is, they turn off all the lights in the big main hall area where these columns are, and then they play films on them, like a kind of 360. They're all. It's projected around all of them, around the whole room. And so I watched one. Oops. I watched one about remembrance of the war and also the Blitz, I think it was. It's really good. It's a good way to make people pay attention, because you go to the museums and you see people sort of having a quick look at some panel, reading a little bit, and kind of walking off. But when all the lights turn off, that's it. It's like you watch it. You're gonna watch this, and I think that's great. Actually, I do need coal. I'm gonna get this. And that it's really, really modern. I think it was only built maybe 10 years ago or something. I don't know. It's quite new, this building, and so it has all these really kind of fancy, gadgety things in it. One of them being, they have these displays. So museums have displays, right? Except this one had displays that you could rotate. You had this little set of buttons next to it, and you could pick a category. So it was on something about, I don't know, rationing, and we wanted to know about the Holocaust. And so you press a button, and then the whole kind of display would push back and go upwards, and a new one would rotate into its space and take its place. It was amazing. I mean, it's a bit slow. It did take about 30, 40 seconds to do it, so I don't know how practical it actually was. It was kind of just an impressive little thing on its own. But that was really cool, actually. I should have taken a video of that. But yeah, what else did we do? We went up to the top. They have this little top viewing gallery at the top of the museum. I think I've run out of caves already. I thought this ravine would be more than it actually is. I'm very sad. So we went up to the top viewing tower. Took a picture up there. That should be on screen, hopefully. I know I took a kind of panoramic setting on my phone photo of that. I mean, honestly, I think it was much better than the London one. The London one's sort of massive and it's got loads of stuff, but I think it was just a much more enjoyable experience going to this one. I've already been down there. No, I need to find a new cave. Alright, let me think now. Where can we go? Let's see. Is there any caves up? Let's just head back and we might find one somewhere else. So, that was Imperial War Museum North. Very good. I'd definitely recommend it. Free entry, of course, like lots of museums in England. I think it costs like £1.20 to go up to the top viewing area, or 60p if you're a student. So that's very good. Very good. Oh no. Oh no, I made it. Nice. So then we had a little walk around Salford Quays. Very nice. The thing about Salford Quays is, so I think until the 80s they were the docks, or maybe the 70s they were docks. And then it was kind of turned into this sort of commercial estate. Like, you know, you'd have all the offices and the buildings and things. So a lot of money was pumped into it, and it shows. It's a really lovely looking place, and you can tell like money's been spent to make it look nice. Clean up the water and all that kind of stuff. Problem is, it was empty. I was really surprised how empty this place was, especially having come from Piccadilly Station, like the centre of Manchester, where it was absolutely packed. There was just complete ghost town. Now, we were there quite early, but it was a weekend, and a school, like a summer, so the kids are out as well. I reckon it was probably just down to how early we got there, plus maybe people were going to the Gay Pride parade instead, so who knows. But it did seem rather empty, which was a shame, because it's a really nice place. What's on my list now? So then we went from there, we went into the city centre of Manchester. Oh, and now I can talk about the trams, because the trams, oh my. Have I just come from there? I've just come from there. Don't do it again, Joe. But yeah, Manchester trams. So they have, obviously they have buses and stuff, and they have trains. But they also have a tram. Ooh, here's one. A tram network. I think it's called Metrolink. Runs throughout the city. Now, I love trams. Well, I've never been on a tram before, but I now love trams. I think trams are just so cool to look at. Because, obviously, trams run kind of alongside pedestrian streets. So you'd just be walking on the pavement and you realise, oh crap, there's a tram coming. And it'll just come straight past you. And I love the way that the city sort of mixes the sidewalks. Sidewalks, what am I, American? The pavements and the tram kind of rails. I just love it. It's like, it reminds me of like a game of Sim City or something. You know, you're planning out your transport. It's like, okay, we'll put a little tram line along here. Oh, it wasn't particularly cheap. I think it was quite expensive, really, as far as trams go. As in, that's the only one I've been on. But as far as like public transport goes, I think it wasn't too cheap, but it was good. They were really nice and new and fancy. These trams. It really reminded me of the metro in Paris. Actually, they had exactly the same sort of design. So yeah, I liked them aesthetically. I liked them kind of as they beeped around the city. I loved all the little stations as well. I think the one what one did we use? We used Anchorage, maybe. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. What I didn't like is they're not particularly. Now I'm saying this as like a 2-day tourist to the location, but they weren't particularly reliable. Like the screens would say there's a tram coming to Eccles in 6 minutes, and then 6 minutes would pass, and it would say 9 minutes, and it actually went upwards. Now, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and say that's due to them reopening a particular section of track that weekend. So maybe they had some kind of issues doing that. Although I've heard from my friend that it usually is a bit dodgy in terms of that reliability. So that's a shame. That's a shame that it's a bit. You know, if it was like punctual as well as how it is, it would be perfect. Absolutely perfect. I've run out of cave again. Oh no. So many bats. Let's try and kill a bat. Yeah. You down there. Yeah. Okay. But overall, I like the trams. And I like the fact that, I don't know why I didn't even think of this, but I like the fact that the tram, the lady who does the voice of like the stopping, like this is the tram to blah blah blah, has a Mancunian accent. I don't know why I didn't think that, but I'm so used to hearing it in sort of a very posh southern. They do it like standardized British, I suppose. Like when someone does a posh English accent like that, I suppose. So I'm so used to hearing this is the train to St Pancras International, and then when you hear one that's got a little bit of an accent to it, I was like, oh, that's really good. I wish I was like that, a little bit more character. So the stupid posh annoying lady, who's I believe is called Doris, Digital Doris they call her, on the train. I'm getting off topic. You have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm guessing, apart from if you live in England. Anyway, what did we do in the city centre? We went to the art gallery, Manchester Art Gallery, which was okay, pretty good. I need to get out of here. Let's go there. We went to Piccadilly Gardens to have a bite to eat. I had some burrito thing. It's very nice. I like burritos. Expensive, but nice. What else did we do? We ran out of time. We were going to go to the Science Museum there, but we only kind of got a quick look at the air bit. So we saw a few planes in this giant old. I think it was like a train making shed. They have all these planes and things in there as a museum. So we saw some old planes and giant planes and things. They had a few cars as well. But yeah, we ran out of time. I wanted to go inside the main bit, but unfortunately it was closing. So give me that damn iron. Go away. Good. But really, I mean, the best bit about Saturday and walking around the city centre was just kind of soaking in the city. I've never been to Manchester before. If you haven't gathered, this is my first time. And I've got to say, I think I like it more than London. London is good. I've been in London for a year doing a work placement as part of my university degree. But I don't know. Manchester just seemed nicer. It just seemed like it was better laid out. It seemed like it was cleaner. It seemed like it was more sort of tied together, which I guess is going to be the case when London's a very old city, so it's going to have the old clashing with the new in some circumstances. Manchester seemed a lot more kind of united, I guess, in its designs. And one thing I really liked, this is going to sound really weird, but I really like it when there's small streets with really tall buildings on either side. How random does that sound? But I like it. I like kind of smaller streets where you're sort of like covered with buildings, almost like they're really tall either side. I don't know why I like that sort of small, closed-in feeling, but I do. And Manchester has that quite a lot, which is great. The architecture's great. Some of the buildings look beautiful. That's what else we did. We went into this weird building called what was it called? Afflex? No. Anyone from Manchester, you might know what I'm talking about. It was this kind of hipstery place. We went in because it had a retro gaming bit, but it was like full of all this weird crap. It was like a bric-and-brac and collectibles and antique, but it was retro modern stuff. Apparently it's where a lot of hipsters and I don't know, emos go or something. But it was definitely a place with lots of character. They had lots of PS1 games as well, which I liked. You don't get PS1 games in stores very often now. What am I doing now? I just need to go somewhere. I'm so trapped and lost and scared. Let me go back up there and just dig up. Actually, I missed some iron as well. I better hurry up. I don't know how long I've been talking for, but probably too long. What else? We actually missed the parade, which I was a bit sad about. I wanted to just see it, but we missed it. We were too busy eating or something. I don't know. But we did get we did see glimpses of it. The city did do some things to sort of take part. There were buildings with rainbows and flags everywhere, so that was nice to see. Dig up. I was going to dig up. That's right. But that's pretty much it. We didn't do again. We went back home afterwards. Played some more video games. Played a bit of Borderlands, which was I think it was Borderlands pre-sequel, which was quite fun. Everywhere. How far away did I go? I think that's my boats over there, aren't they? Oh, who knows? Let's just carry on. Let's carry on trekking. Yeah, went home, played some games, ate some food, and that was Saturday. Very, very good. Very good day out. On the Sunday, Liverpool was on the table because Liverpool is not too far from Manchester. And it only took about half an hour on a train to get from Manchester to Liverpool. Very good. I was very impressed by that. Albeit we had to stand the entire way because the train was packed. It was still good to get there so quickly. So we got to which station was it? I think it was called Lime Street Station in Liverpool. Again, never been to Liverpool, so it's my first time there. Immediately, we get off the platform. We're handed a Smirnoff. So that was nice. There was Smirnoff there. They were giving out these little kind of taster cans of a new flavour they're doing, Smirnoff Ice, and it tastes like Red Bull. I don't know what the flavour was, but it tasted exactly like Red Bull, only alcoholic. Not bad. Nice way to start off the trip. What did we do? So we had something to eat in the Wetherspoons inside the station. Honestly, I've yet to find a bad Wetherspoons. I know they're out there. People say that there are bad Wetherspoons, and I believe them. I'm sure there are. But I've been to multiple Wetherspoons now, and they've all been just great. Cheap, food's edible, it's decent, it's enjoyable, nice kind of atmosphere. They're all in really nice buildings, I've found. So, and the day I find a bad Wetherspoons, I will be heartbroken. Because up until now, they've all been good. Very good. And you'd expect the one to be good in a main station anyway. So we had some food. And then we didn't really do too much in Liverpool because we didn't really know what to do. Instead, we just went to kind of one of the main places people go, apparently. I don't know, but a very nice place to go. And that is the docks. Again, more docks. But Albert Docks. It's where a lot of the museums are. Again, we just went to more museums because they're free and they're interesting. So we went to Albert Docks, walked through city centre, not really, but I don't know where it was in relation to the city, but kind of walked through all these shopping centre. That's what it was. It was a shopping centre. I wonder if this place has been raided. I think they're all dead. Oh yeah, they're definitely dead. And we got to the docks. Lovely. I mean, it wasn't sunny. It was quite overcast that day. But despite that, the atmosphere was really good as well. Lots of people. There was this boat on, like, kind of tied up with some live music. This guy playing on the guitar. Oh, hang on, we're here. Oh, there's bloody Taco Mart. That means the Guardian Farms are just over there. Oh, we need to go more this way. So yeah, there's this boat with some live music and all these people dancing and clapping. You could hear it from quite a ways away as well. That was nice. We ended up going to the Museum of Liverpool, where, and again, another great museum, much better than any museums I've been to in London. Really nice, kind of modern design, but looks nice, because modern can look bad sometimes. I'm not saying that just because it's modern means it's good. Lots of modern stuff can be horrible, but I think it looked nice. And the inside was nice as well. Lots of stuff about the Beatles, obviously, as you'd imagine. We actually timed it quite well. We went to go see they have this little Beatles themed video show that goes on in there. Very good. Like that. Always up for a little bit of Beatles. Is this a cave? No, it's not. I need more cave, damn it. What else was in there? Just lots of... It was just... I mean, the thing with museums is you don't go in there and you don't read all of it. It's just not possible. There's no way to read every single panel of information inside a museum. So you go in and you sort of just kind of glance, and if something takes your interest, takes your fancy, then you go read it. And that's kind of... And they had lots of models. As someone who likes making models and used to do model trains when I was younger, I loved all the little models they had of the city in the Museum of Liverpool. They were so cute. They had models of the old train line and the city layouts and streets and things. Excellent stuff. Definitely took some pictures there, which hopefully you've seen on the screen. And we didn't actually do that much at all in Liverpool. We went to the docks. We walked along the docks. And kind of just came back home. I'm sure we missed out on a lot of stuff to do, but we weren't there long. But what we did do there was good. Oh, we also went to... Oh, God. We also went to Tate. Again, they have Tates in London. They have the Tate Modern. And they also have the Tate... What's the other one called? Tate Modern. Is it just called the Tate? Anyway, they have Tate Liverpool. We went in there, and I think I've worked out that I'm just not... I just don't get art like I used to. Or if I ever did get art. Because I was just in there, and I was just getting confused and annoyed and... Yeah, angrily confused, I think, is the best way to describe it. I just can't... Yeah, I'm a big fan of art. I did art for A-levels. I like doing art. And I like to think I was quite open to art, but I was just in there and I was just scratching my head at some of the stuff. And I felt kind of bad, but at the same time, some of it was just weird. And I mean just... No, disturbing, actually. Disturbing. There was one video. So you know how some art galleries have kind of videos playing? You go sit down and watch them. There was one, and I'll tell you what it's called. If you want to go look up this video... Be my guest and enjoy the nightmares, because it was called Painters, made in 1995, and the artist was called Paul McCarthy. Not McCartney, Paul McCarthy. Right? Look up that video. It's on YouTube, I made sure. It's 50 minutes long, but I'll give you a little hint. It's people in big noses. They've got big noses and weird hands. And one of them's painting with giant paint and giant paint tubes and brushes, and then kind of at some point I kind of skipped ahead. He starts chopping his own hand off with a meat cleaver. Yeah, I don't know. It was weird, and that I was like, okay, that's it now. No more art. So we left Tate Liverpool and made our way back to the train station. One thing I do notice from Liverpool is that everything was massive. Everything was really big. The museums were big, the buildings were big, the streets were big, the shops were big. We had a quick look in some shops, Waterstones and things. The shops were humongous. Everything was just big. Absolutely big, especially the streets. The streets along the front were massive. But yeah, that was Liverpool. I don't really think there's much else we did. It's getting dark. Oh no. And yeah, from that point on, we went back home. We had some food. We played some games, watched some YouTube stuff, and then it was Monday, and it was time to go home very early in the morning. So I caught my train at 10 o'clock, and I got home about 2. So all is well. Do you know what's not well is that this cave idea just completely failed. So I've just been walking for the most part. Ah, well, treat this one as a podcast, just like the Minecon one. This is a podcast, all right? I should have told you that at the beginning. You've just watched this whole video now, and I'm sorry, it's too late, but that's what you should have done. Yeah, I mean, overall, I loved it. Now, there's this whole thing about people from the south, particularly ignorant people, think that the north begins at London. Like, past London, oh, that's the north. And it's like they don't really know much about it, and you know they think it's all stricken with poverty up there, and it's all just massive like concrete buildings and old factories and things, and that sort of oh, is this the same one? Have I went in the circle? That sort of stereotype. Now, I wasn't one of those people. I didn't really have a kind of preconceived idea of what Manchester and Liverpool would be like. I didn't have any judgment, of course. Didn't have any expectations. I just went in completely open-minded. And yeah, I mean, I prefer them a lot more to London. I thought they were great. Great cities, both of them. But particularly Manchester, I thought was really, really nice. Definitely want to go again sometime. Definitely want to visit again. I think the weekend was good. I got to see some stuff, but I'd like to see more. For sure. And it was so quick to go up there and so cheap as well. I don't see any reason not to. So if you're in the south and you want to go see Manchester, I would highly recommend it. Or Liverpool. I think I should probably see some other ones as well. I really haven't been to that many cities in England. So I should go to see more, really. Find out more about my own country, you know. But this was a start. This was a good start as well. And you know what? I think before I just... Oh God, before I die and walk even more randomly, I better end this video now. I'm sorry it was just a lot of talky, but I hope you enjoyed some of the dodgy photos I've taken on my phone. And yeah, Manchester, Liverpool, thumbs up from me. Loved it. And yeah, that'll do it. So until next time, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.